Is Annabelle's doll real? Can a spirit in the form of a doll do horrible and scary acts or even be a murderer? Stay with me until the end of this story so that if such a terrible thing happens to you, you will be able to make the right decision. Jason and Liana are in Sydney. They walk in the lonely streets. It is very dark and the wind is blowing strongly. They get worried and look at each other sadly. Suddenly, everything changes. The city lights dim and they sense a dire threat. They see a dark and strange shadow approaching them. That shadow suddenly covers the street and they run away and enter an old library. They enter a dark and scary library. They hear unknown and scary sounds in the street. They tell each other that they need to explore the library to find out what happened. With this sequence of events, Jason and Liana must discover the terrifying and mysterious world that has engulfed the city. In a dark corner of the library, Jason and Liana's eyes fall on an old and ugly doll. The doll sits on one of the shelves and looks like it's decades old. His hair is disheveled and torn, and a half-broken smile is fixed on his face. But strangest of all, the doll's eyes still sparkle and miraculously radiate energy and charm. Jason and Liana, with all the horror surrounding them, stop for a moment and look at this strange doll. Their gaze on this doll is just like its eyes, full of mystery but strangely persuasive. It cannot be denied. Growing impatient, Jason reaches out and picks up the doll. There is an extraordinary sound and everything falls into silence. Jason and Liana meet the same look of horror and mockery in the doll's eyes. The doll seems to be trying to talk to them and reveal the secrets it holds. Gradually, they understand the strange differences around them. The library environment changes shape, walls move and books magically open and their pages write in an unknown language. This ugly doll has become a guide in this dark world. Now it's up to Jason and Liana. They must turn the doll into a mystery-solving machine to uncover the secrets of this dark and scary city. Jason and Liana look at the doll's skirt with a mystery-solving machine. Surprisingly, dark writing can be read on the skirt of the doll. Strange and scary letters and symbols in an unknown language are on his lap, as well as symbols and maps that seem to be a secret guide to the supernatural happenings of this evil city dweller. Jason and Liana shudder in fear and their eyes meet. While they are looking at each other, suddenly there is a scary sound. A strange and unfamiliar voice came out of the doll's mouth, which scared both of them. That voice seems to be a voice from a world like hell, dark and full of torment and suffering. This sound makes Jason and Liana's hearts beat faster and a breath of fear fills them. The ugly doll takes a step forward and reaches their ears with a louder voice. A mysteriously evil shrieking voice tells them that the city is in a dark cycle, one that can only be broken by restoring balance between the supernatural and the mundane. Faced with the terrifying reality that the city needs their help, Jason and Liana find themselves in a world more brutal than any real imagination. They must pursue the supernatural and fight evil spirits and evil creatures to save this city from its dark destiny. As Jason and Liana struggle with the doll's skirt and try to escape her scary voice, the doll suddenly lunges at them. With a sudden and violent movement, the hand falls towards Jason and Liana's face with its sharp claws. Jason and Lyanna scream in shock and fear and immediately run to escape the terrifying creature. Falling into an area of ruined space, they are launched into a device that is on the verge of entering a dark, secret world. Gathering their courage, they press the launcher and are quickly thrust into a world of aridity, literacy, and mastery. After the ride disintegrates, they see warm, glowing eyes coming towards them. Despite their fear and excitement, Jason and Lyanna quickly walk through the darkness of the ruined place. This place is full of dark corridors and gloomy ruins. But they are led to the stream of light. Their goal is to reach Amon and find a plan to save the city in the mystery-solving machine. With speed and excitement, Jason and Lyanna walk through the ruins, trying to escape from the haunted spirit of the doll. But at this time, a big and dark blackness emerges from the corner of the place. Darkness full of power and evil covers the surroundings and looks at them. This dark force intends to follow them, and the more terrifying and destructive it becomes in this place, the stronger its influence becomes. Jason and Lyanna take quick breaths and try to escape from the dangerous front that this blackness presents. They are desperately trying to find a way to eliminate this dark menace. Avoiding as much as possible, Jason and Lyanna quickly run together into the dark and twisted corridors. At the same time, the Great Black tries to chase them down and weaken their motivation. In pursuit of the possessed spirit of the doll and to prevent the Great Darkness, the two must turn to all their strength and courage to escape this dark threat and save the city from the plagues that have torn it apart. Furious and vicious, the doll suddenly attacks Jason and Lyanna. With challenging and seemingly random movements, the doll tries to knock them down. Dealing with the sounds of throwing and tearing the air creates a special fear and terror in the hearts of Jason and Lyanna. At the same time, in the dark shadow of the ruined place, a great spirit appears in the form of darkness. This is the most terrible example of all evil spirits. He drops the silent, lifeless body and moves towards Jason and Lyanna, step by step. The doll and the ghost have joined hands and work together to destroy Jason and Lyanna. The scary and magical power of this combination limits all their senses and tries to push them to the edge of their existence. But in dealing with this double threat, Jason and Lyanna refuse to give up. Bravely and with a warrior spirit, they resist fiercely and gather all their strength in their hands. One after the other, the two decide to confront the ghost and the dark doll, face the bravery of a warrior and save the city from this mysterious and dangerous threat. Jason and Lyanna's encounter with this dark combination of a doll and a large black spirit turns into a terrifying battle. During the terrible war between light and darkness, something terrible happens. One of these evil creatures proves terrifyingly capable of destroying one of them. The doll takes the body of one of the cheats firmly in its hand and destroys it in a way that leaves no chance to save the loser. This terrible image is a symbol of the completion of the doll's evil and the increase of its power. In a situation where one of them is destroyed, the big black body spirit also takes possession of the soul. This endgame cycle between dark creatures is used to trick and conquer those who have interviewed this doll. One is destroyed and the other in turn becomes the ruler of conquest and evil.